Do you have some good advices to like starting to play drums now?
Yeah, I think.
Or the best advices?
Yeah, I think that if you're just starting and you're young, I mean, like if you're under 10, I think you want to just have fun with it. And if you're a teacher, you should make sure they have fun, but teach them the fundamentals and teach them to read from the beginning. But they have to have fun. If they resist it, then don't do it. I mean, or just teach them one measure.
Or
Learn
song.
or the songs are critical. I mean, I do have a. I'm concerned that the weight of practicing has gone to drumless tracks, and it should still be, as far as I'm concerned,
Yes.
should be playing to tracks. I mean, how do you develop your feel? How do you understand the musicality? If you're playing over a 2-bar loop, they're great when you're more advanced. Soloing chops, but if you're trying to learn music, trying to learn tunes, trying to keep your head together, know the difference between a verse and a chorus and a bridge, tag,
Structure,
and more importantly, you're playing along with great drummers. So you're going to catch something. If you just play by yourself all the time, you can live in a dream world and think you're all so great. Plus,
But you're not.
And you're a follower. Yes, you're a follower and you play along with a record. But it's a different kind of following because
But you're getting
your
something
ears.
always.
Yeah, but you know what I mean. Drummers don't follow. Drummers
No,
lead.
that's
So if
it.
there's advice,
Yeah.
if there's advice to
Truck
any
driver.
other drummer, be a leader in the music.
Yeah.
You know, get your time together. Work with a metronome.
A lot.
As much as you have to, and learn to play with
but
the
in the
click
beginning-
and learn without it. In the beginning, you should be doing it 80% of the time. I think you should also be doing it 20% without, because you got to start to trust your inner.
In your field.
No. That's important. So I think, but they should be learning their rudiments. They should, understand their fundamentals that go beyond style. I mean, I don't even think you want to. What happens though is, you'll ask a younger student, what do you listen to? And either they're shy about saying it or they don't really listen to it. They can't really say. So that's kind of strange.
Really weird.
But I've seen that. Or I've had it on the superior level. Okay, we got to learn Latin. I like Latin music. Do you listen to Latin music? No.
No. So, what are you saying, man?
Right. I mean, I think it's easier to hear so much music now.
Yeah, of course.
Where when I was coming up, you really had to dig it
digital
out.
platforms everywhere.
Maybe it's too much. Maybe
too much.
they're overwhelmed. I mean, Hal Blaine, one of the great session drummers of all time, he would say, "Man, there's only two kinds of rhythms, man. There's binary and ternary." He said, "Learn two feels. Learn to shuffle and learn to play good eight notes and 60. That was his deal." So. I think some guys, which is, again, it's fine that they're excited about wanting to play polyrhythms and wanting to get, complicated licks. They listen to video, they listen to, you can name, there's so many wonderful drummers today who are technically really proficient. And they're going for things that they don't have backgrounds to it. And so I think if you skip,
spot.
but if you skip, you're gonna somewhere it's gonna come back to haunt you. So,
Yes.
but you have to with the teacher should guide you, but you also should bring in what you also want to play.
Choose your own way.
I think it's really important. And I've always allowed a student. I like this song. Great, let's do it. We should learn it. Let's learn the song. So I always have students. My formula is okay. If there's a transcription, great. If there's not, then you got to play along with the song. Then I'm going to turn the song off and say, okay, now play me the introduction and play me the first. Now, does it have to be exactly note for note? No, but it has to be, got to be there. You got to be able to play the form. Over the years, I can't tell you how many drummers that I've worked with that have played really complex music with the record on. Amazing, actually. I mean, I couldn't do it. I mean, the hours they spent, their ears.
then alone?
Great. But alone, forget it. They couldn't even play at all.
That's it.
So that's missing something. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like, yes, you got to be a good click drummer in today's world. But if you can't play with a click, I'm not convinced you're a drummer or a high-level drummer. I've seen it. Or if you have not just a click, but you're playing along with percussion sounds, anybody can sound like they have a groove. Take it away. Let's hear that. Let's hear that just bass drum, snare drum. When I played with Chuck Berry, he didn't know me for Hole in the Wall. And this story I've heard from many other drummers, both colleagues and read about. And he came in to the dressing room, which the dressing room was basically an RV. We were playing a huge outdoor festival, and that's where the band was staying. And he kind of, it's Chuck Berry kind of,
Yeah, of
comes
course.
in, and I'm sitting on the well of this RV. Yeah. And he kind of, walks. It's Chuck Berry, man. It's great. And he walks in. He kind of looks around. He goes, "Hey, I'm Chuck Berry." And of course, he's Chuck Berry.
Because I know
And then
who
he looks around. He looks at me. and He goes, "Drummer."
He's a drummer.
Right? And I heard he's the deaf many guys. And then he said to me, he said, "You can do this gig with just a bass drum and a snare drum." He didn't mean to do that.
Sure.
But he didn't know me from a hole in the wall. He knew we were a good band. We were a New York band that played roots music. That's how we got this gig. Because he always played with pickup bands. And that was pretty amazing. And especially when you hear it from other drummers who've done the gig.
Yeah.
So, I did teach. It's not important who it was, but he told me, he just had to learn which way bass did. When I first learned, I got a snare drum, and then I earned the right to have a hi hat, and then I learned the right to have a bass drum and a rack tom. And then finally, the big present was a floor tom. And I think there's something about focusing. I mean, this instrument is still about, technically, it's about the snare drum. It's a one-man.
That's it.
I remember talking to Grady Tate. Grady Tate he passed away, but one of the great jazz drummers on Oliver Nelson and all the records with Wes Montgomery. And the organ player, I can't think of his name, Jimmy Smith. Jimmy Smith.
Oh, okay, the
organist.
Organist.
So Grady played on the Tonight Show band. Yeah. He was a great big band drummer, great big band. He played with Stan Getz. I mean, his discography is great. And so I was playing a big band on Monday nights, and he used to come. He only sang. I mean, I had known him and he wouldn't play, wouldn't sit in. He said, "I want to hear you play, man." Okay. And he would sing, and he was a friend. Yeah. And then one day we were talking about drummers, and he said, "Man, there's all these young guys coming up, but I'm telling you, you put any of these kids and Buddy Rich on a snare drum, I'm sorry, he would still burn them." I don't know if that's still true, but he believed this is the instrument, and he said, "I'm not a technical guy. I mean, I know a few rudiments,
a few fundamentals,
but it's about the music. He was a really good singer."